I just want to encourage players to give C&C4 a shot. I know we're trying a lot of things a bit different. We're going a little more in the accessible standpoint of it, but I want to reinforce that we're not removing the strategic depth. It's still going to be a really cool RTS game. First off is our player progression system. And this is an RPG-like system where everything you do in the game is going to gain you experience. And with those experience points, you'll level up and then you can unlock new toys to play with, like new units, powers, and upgrades. And we also have a class-based system. So we have 3 classes in the game. We have offense, defense, and support, all of which play in a different way. You can respawn in the middle of a match so that you don't ever actually die, so you can actually keep playing the game. You're never going to get rushed and out of the game in the first few minutes. And then we want to also have a more social experience where we have a party system where you can stay with your friends and play multiple games in succession. We have 5v5 multiplayer. And then to wrap it all together, we're actually concluding the Tiberium storyline, really answering all those questions that fans have had for years. Just because we're concluding this chapter of the storyline, it certainly doesn't mean that we're not ever going to make another C&C game again. So I can't say any more than that, but C&C will certainly live on. So C&C3 was actually very successful, both from a commercial and a critical standpoint. What we felt is that we wanted to have an opportunity to bring more casual players into C&C. We wanted to be able to get more people online, playing with their friends. What we found is that the traditional RTS model it's very intimidating. It's very tough for a new player to go online and play because they'll get into a 1v1 game, they'll get rushed in the first 5 minutes, they'll die, and then they'll feel really bad. There's nothing they really accomplished. And so with C&C4, with the progression model and with aiming towards a 5v5 game mechanic, we can get more people online. They can learn a bit more from those other players. They can have a small subset of units that they learn about and learn about the game mechanics, and then you add on top of that, almost like an RPG. So Starcraft 2 is going to be very much a traditional RTS game. It's going to be very much you build up your base, you harvest your resources, and then you attack each other, and eventually, usually the person with the higher APM and the higher micro, and they know the hotkeys better, that's the person who's going to win. C&C4 is going to be a bit different because, again, it's that 5v5 gameplay. It's more objective mode in the multiplayer, so it's more about capturing points and holding locations on the battlefield. It's not as much about rushing your opponent. Again, with being able to respawn, you actually have a chance to kind of make a mistake and then bounce back from that. So it's a much more friendly way to kind of get into RTS, a little bit less intimidating than StarCraft 2. I guarantee you I'm not going to be able to compete in a StarCraft 2 game just because I'm going to get destroyed. And so I think players like myself are going to be able to enjoy C&C4 a bit more because I just have more opportunities to succeed. We're not going to have as much esports support as we had in C&C3, but I think we'll have other features in terms of the social networking and the way to do parties that are going to make it just as attractive for online players. We're getting something up and running from a very early state and playtesting that with the group every single day. And then based on that feedback, we iterate that evening and then the next day try a different playtest. And so on C&C3, we kind of just we waited until everything got in the game and then started playtesting it and seeing how it all felt. And the problem with that is that we realized some things just didn't work, but it was kind of too late in the process to adjust on it. So with C&C4, we're trying to do those play tests much earlier with a smaller subset of items and really make sure that we hone down on those core game mechanics and then iterate from there. So it's a little bit of a different approach, and it's actually working out pretty well for us.